Just two more minutes. Hi everyone. Please just final check to confirm if you can hear me. You can send the reaction if you can hear me clearly, please. Okay, cool. Thank you very much. So I'm Faith Roberts, and we'll be starting this series, how to build on Starknet, build your smart contracts on Starknet ecosystem using the Cairo programming language. And we'll be doing this on a weekly basis. So I'll be sharing my learnings with you all on how you can start building using the Cairo programming language, understanding it, going through simplifying it to the best way possible. And for the next hour, that's what we're doing. So if you have questions, you can drop in the chat. And once I'm done, I'll be able to respond to all your questions. So thank you all for joining. If you added this to your calendar, you will always get the prompt every other Friday um, for the events. Okay, thank you all so much. And we are starting. Thank you, Leticia. Always join. I appreciate you. So, what is Cairo Programming Language? I'm going to share my screen and we are going to go through the documents, the Cairo book together, understand what Cairo is, the kind of programming language it is, and how to start programming using the Cairo programming language. So I want to show you all can see my screen. You can. Okay, cool. So let me just zoom that little so we can see clearly. Right. So Cairo is a programming language designed for a virtual CPU. Aspect of this processor is that it was not created for physical constraints of our world, but for cryptographic ones, making it capable of efficiently the execution of any program running on it. This means that you can perform time-consuming operations on a machine you don't trust and check the results very quickly on a cheaper machine. So, Cairo programming language is um, is a programming language that has been designed for the same name here and Cairo is executed by Cairo machine, the virtual CPU. And this processor was created to make execution of programs extremely fast and extremely cheap using cryptographic tools, ZK technology powering this programming language. And so it makes it very, very cheap, very, very fast to prove the authenticity of whatever program you are writing and compile, execute these programs. So we'll be using Cairo programming for smart contracts on Starknet because currently on Starknet ecosystem, you can only write smart contracts using Cairo programming language. And so with that, I think we can move ahead. I'll be sharing this link with you also. You can follow along. And also I'll be updating the calendar to add links that are important for you all. So you can always go through it before the next session begins. All right. So what can you do with Cairo? You can compute trustworthy values on untrusted machines. One major use case is Starknet. Starknet is a solution to Ethereum scaling. Ethereum is a decentralized blockchain platform that enables the creation of decentralized applications where every single interaction between a user and a dApp is verified by all the participants. So Starknet is a layer 2 built on top of Ethereum. Instead of having all participants of the network to verify all user interactions, only one node called the prover executes the programs and generates proofs that the computations were done correctly. So this is one thing you can achieve with Cairo, generating the proofs and proving that this proves all the transactions, every information on this proof generated are actually valid. So these proofs are then verified by an Ethereum smart contract requiring significantly less computational power compared to executing the interactions themselves. So the major differences between Cairo and other programming languages. Cairo is quite different from traditional programming languages, especially when it comes to overhead costs and its primary advantages. Your program can be executed in two different ways. So when executed by a prover, it is similar to any other language because Cairo is virtualized and because the operations were not specifically designed for maximum efficiency. This can lead to some performance overhead, but it is not the most relevant part to optimize. So when the generated proof is verified by a verifier, it is a bit different. This has to be as cheap as possible since it could potentially be verified on many very small machines. Fortunately, verifying is faster than computing, and Cairo has some unique advantages to improve it even more. A notable one is non-determinism. This is a topic you cover in more detail in this book. Another aspect that sets the language apart is its memory model. In Cairo, memory access is immutable, meaning that once a value is written to memory, it cannot be changed. Cairo 1 provides abstractions that help developers work with these constraints, but it does not fully simulate mutability. Therefore, developers must think carefully about how they manage memory and data structures in their programs to optimize performance. All right, so this is an overview of the Cairo programming language. You can, I hope I pasted this link. Okay. Okay. So you can go over it. You can go over the architecture of Cairo, the compiler, to understand it properly. So let's get started. So I'm assuming that this is your first interaction with Cairo programming language. And so this workshop session today is for the very, very basic started with Cairo. So let's start your Cairo journey. There's a lot to learn, but every journey starts with build, toolchain, and package manager on Linux, Mac OS, and Windows. Writing a program that prints hello world and using basic SCAP commands to create a project and execute a program. Okay, so let's go straight to installation. So first, Cairo can be installed by simply downloading SCAP. SCAP bundles the Cairo compiler and the Cairo language server together in an easy to install package so that you can start writing Cairo code right away. SCAP is also Cairo's package manager and is heavily inspired by Cargo, Rust build system and package manager. SCAP handles a lot of tasks for you, such as building your code, either pure Cairo or Starknet contracts, downloading the libraries your code depends on, building those libraries, and provides LSP support for VS Code Cairo 1 extension. As you write more complex Cairo programs, you might add dependencies. If you start a project using SCAP, managing external code and dependencies will be a lot easier to do. Let's start by installing SCAP. So one thing you should know is with Cairo, you can use the Cairo programming language to either write your normal Cairo programs, which is your normal code in your normal code settings with your normal functions and all that. And also you can use Cairo to write your smart contracts. So the Cairo programming language can be used as a normal programming language to write your normal programming code. And also it can be used to write your smart contract code. Any method you want to use have different ways to go about it, but still the same programming language. Okay, so having explained that, let's go straight into installation. So first of all, you have to install SCAP, and SCAP requires a Git executable to be available in the path environment variable. So to install SCAP, please refer to the installation instructions. We strongly recommend that you install SCAP via SDF, a CLI tool that can manage multiple language runtime versions on a per project basis. This will ensure that the version of SCAP you use to work on a project always matches the one defined in the project settings, avoiding problems related to version mismatches. Please refer to the ASDF documentation to install all prerequisites. Once you have ASDF installed locally, you can download SCAP plugin with the following commands. So we can either install SCAP using this method or using the ASDF method. So this ASDF method is very, very recommended. I haven't worked with this, so we'll be doing this. And it is recommended because while working with SCAP in your Starknet smart contract, you can always have, there's always clashes with dependencies, with the compiler versions and all. those are majority of the problems you would always face when you generate a new project. The SCAB versioning and other tools, dependencies, the versionings would always contrast. You have to keep looking for versions that are compatible together to be able to run build that project you're working on. And so that is always a hassle. But I think the ASTF is here to solve that. So for any project you bootstrap, you start, it will automatically use the SCAP version that is meant for that project that's been defined in your document file. So let's refer to the documentation and get started. I want to ask, is anybody like coding along in this call to be sure? Okay, cool. So yeah, getting started. So I'll drop this link in the chat. Oops, I just copied the text. Okay, great. All right. Okay, so these are what we need to get started. So I haven't used ASDF before, so we'll be doing this together. So ASDF installation involves 1. Installing dependencies. 2. Downloading ASDF core. 3. Installing ASDF. 4. Installing a plugin for each tool runtime you wish to manage. 5. Installing a version of the tool runtime. And 6. Setting global and project versions via tool versions config files. Okay. So first, you require Git and call. Here is a non-exhaustive list of commands to run for your package manager. Some might automatically install these tools in later steps. So if you're using Linux, this is the package manager that if you're using any of these package managers, then you'd have to call any of these commands. And for Mac OS, you're using Homebrew package manager, then you have to call this command. And if you are using Spark package manager, you have to call this command. And it says sudo may be required depending on your system configuration. So let me be sure that everything is working well. Okay, so I think using this method, I don't think anybody working with Windows can actually work with this because I don't think there's support for Windows here. So let me just quickly check the other method to be sure. Okay, so for this, the second method, you can use Windows. For the first method, rather, I think you can work with Windows. So this is the method, just calling this, and it gets installed automatically. It's just that you have to figure out how to solve your versioning issues with that method. Okay, so okay, cool. So for Windows, you need manual installation, but I'll be sharing the link for this so you'll be able to proceed if you are on Windows OS. All right, so I think we can get started. So I don't think I have Brew installed in my system, but let's see. Oops, sorry, I guess you all are not seeing what I'm trying to show you. So I guess we can see better now. Okay, so you can check the chart. However, says the easiest way to run Scab on Windows is to run it on WSL. So it will take time if you don't already have WSL installed, but it works once you have WSL. Nice. Thank you for that. So for those using Windows, you can try that method. So let me see if this will work. Okay, cool. So it's processing at the moment. So yeah, if it's your first time installing anything on your system for this, most times it takes a lot of time. Other earlier we would have to install Rust and the Rust tool chain before you can proceed. But I think now we just go straight to installing Scap, which makes it a whole lot better. Yeah, so that is taking a lot of time. So while that is going on, I think, okay, cool. If you have any questions or clarifications, you can drop them now, while installation is going on. Okay, so what are you trying to run?
Hello, good morning. So I'm trying
Good morning.
to
Um, I'm not sure I got you.
okay, I tried the command for brew install, so I got the return that command not found.
Okay, so if you are using Brew installed, do you have Homebrew already installed in your system?
No, I'm just
Okay,
starting
so
from.
yeah, so Homebrew is a package manager, is like an installer for Mac. So you need to have that already configured in your system before you can use it to install other um tools.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So let me see Homebrew for Mac, and I think this is the link brew.sh. So you can use this to install Homebrew to your system first. So yes, you can use it to install anything into your system, any software, cameras, calendars, anything at all from the via command line using the Brew instead of going to download from the store.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. So okay. So any other questions? Okay, Bello.
Yes, hi. So mine is because I'm working with Windows. Um,
Okay.
so I'm trying to. So I downloaded I think a source file from the Scar site.
Okay.
After that, am I supposed to install anything, or I just need to download it and that's all?
So are you using the WSL?
Yes, I have it installed on my laptop.
Oh, oh, cool. So just I haven't done it on Windows, but this article is pretty straightforward. So let me check that again. So let's just see it. So you did this, right? And you extracted it to the location where you want SCAP installed, right? Hello, hello.
Yes. Um,
So if you've done this, can you check if you have if you run SCAP version, does it return a version?
sorry, I didn't get that.
Have you tried running SCAP version to be sure?
Okay, let me try that.
Yeah, so when you run this and you can see a version, that means it's successfully installed.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Wow, this is still installing. Yeah, so this is what you will face when you're getting started. And I made sure I didn't do this method before so that you would understand what it means, and when you are starting, you know how to navigate. So this is intensive, very intensive. Um, the people that are also coding along, Mayowa, how is it going? Okay, so what method did you use? ASDF.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
ASDF on WSL. Oh,
yeah,
nice.
WSL. I'm using WSL.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so Bello, we have progress.
Not really. Maiwa, do you have? Is it the light version you have, or like the full package?
Sorry, I didn't get your question.
Is that your Ubuntu? Is it the light version you're using, or the actual one?
The WSL I installed.
Yes.
Oh yeah, so I installed the actual one. Like I just went to the Windows Store, downloaded it, and just let it run. Just let it install. Then once it's installed, just set up your Ubuntu username and the likes. And once that is done, just do the normal scab install. It works more like Linux, but just on Windows. So it's basically straightforward. There's no difference.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Maiwa. Oh, this is still installing. So yeah, that is what you face because once once it's your first time installing, it actually takes really long to set up your system if you're using this method. Um, so unfortunately, we have to wait for it to fully install before we can proceed. Okay, so there are others on the call. Nefisa, how is it going? Are you coding along or you're just listening before you start?
I'm not coding along. I'm just listening.
Oh, cool. Nice to have you on the call.
Thank you. I'm still waiting for the this thing that you said. I don't know if I'm still feeling as if I don't belong.
Why? Why is that?
I'm not a developer.
Oh, cool. You're a data scientist, right?
Yes.
So, well, I don't know how to solve the problem of not belonging. I think you always showing up, and that's the one good thing I admire about you, and you're consistent. and you're learning. Whether you believe it or not, you're learning, and there are a lot of things you've already gotten from these sessions that makes you better off. I think what you just need to do is to start writing the code. Just try and build something. Follow these tutorials we are doing and try to install it on your system, run it, see it work. So, baby steps, little by little, you can start writing the code, creating hello world, greeting code, and before you know, you are writing a very large code base. So it's great. You're on the call. You can get your system set up and just write something, because you wouldn't make any progress if you just stay without doing it. So I think you should build it, run it. At least we make it as simple. I'm trying to make it as simple as possible on these sessions. So a very, very new beginner can come into the system and start building something. So I think you should try it, run it. If you have any challenge, just share it and we'll help you out.
All right, thank you. But it seems
You're
like
welcome.
uh, it's similar to installation of Bitcoin Core, right?
Mm, something like that. Something like that. Yes. Something like that. Same process, because that what gets installed are different packages. Yeah, but installation process is similar.
Okay, because I already have the Linux, the Ubuntu on my
Okay,
and the WSL already.
cool. So run particular um this one, run this particular code. Download the release, extract it, add parts to this and run scrap version. And we have two other people on the call that are using the same method, so it'll be easy. So run this since you have WSL.
All right,
Link on the chat.
all right. I think I'll start from the this thing about the Cairo language, kind of get used to it, and then
Yeah, that would be awesome. Hopefully before the next call would have you might have set it up. It would be nice to know that you have it set up and you did probably hello world something.
yeah, sure, I will try that. Actually, I still have
All
ample
right,
time. I will try
all
that.
right, cool, cool. Okay, so this is still installing. Um, Call failed to verify legitimacy of the server and therefore could not establish a secure connection. Who is this? Self-signed certificate and certificate chain. Oh, can you try another package? I don't know why that is giving you errors, but you can use Homebrew or you can use Spark. Can you try working with Spark?
I got the same error with Spark.
Hmm. Wow. So I think that is a troubleshooting for your particular Mac, and unfortunately, I can't do that on this session. You'd have to probably ask online in support and put your specifications of your MacBook so the proper support can be given to you. But
Okay.
once you have those two installed, you can proceed. And also here, let me see.
So I have a question. This Cairo language, is it only for Starknet?
Yes, currently you can only use it to build smart contracts on Starknet.
Okay.
Yes, but like I said earlier, you can generate your normal programs with Cairo, just like you generate your normal programs with Python or JavaScript and work with it. But if you are building a smart contract, yeah, it has to be um, yes, if you're building a smart contract, it has to be Starknet because currently Starknet is the only ecosystem that supports Cairo smart contracts that uses the Cairo VM. So, but you can use Cairo for other things aside smart contracts, generating programs, your normal programs.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so this is taking so much time, but I think I'm glad it is happening. So we all see it step by step and how it is it's going. And if it doesn't get fully installed before our time is up, then we'll continue next Friday. But so far so good. Hope everything I've said today is clear and is doable by you all on the call. That's awesome. So for compatibility issues with your machines, you'd have to figure that out online, ask questions in Stack Overflow or your specific um, OS forum so they can guide you properly on what to do. I can't figure that out on the call here. So I'm hoping that by next Friday we are all set up. Those that are on this call particularly, we are all set up and ready to write code, proper code. So while that is going on, let me show you a little snippet of what the code looks like in Cairo. So hoping that we have all this done, the next thing is to write your code. So in order to write your code, you need to create the folder, bootstrap all the things needed to run it, to make sure everything is working perfectly before you start writing. But I'm not going to do that because we don't have it already installed yet. We are still installing the manager. And so I just want to give us an overview of what our code would look like. Yeah. So this is a simple Hello World project in Cairo. So you can see that this this is the function. This is the function name, and this is the logic, what you want the function to run, implementation of this function. Now, in every project, every Cairo program, you will need to have the main function in it because it is the main function that executes all the functions in the project. So if you have other projects, other functions without the main function, your code is not going to run the code is not going to compile. You would have to create a main function where you call those other functions you want to interact with. That's the only way it is going to work. Just like your other programming languages that uses this method. I think those familiar with C, I think C uses this method also, and I think is it Java where you need the main function to execute other functions. So this is a very, very, very simple function. Print hello world in the main function. Once you run this, it is supposed to return hello world to you. So let's see. Let's see something else. Yeah, so this is the anatomy of a Cairo program. These lines define a function named main. The main function is special. It is always the first code that runs in every executable Cairo program. Here, the first line declares a function named main that has no parameters and returns nothing. If there were parameters, they would go inside the parentheses. So if we had parameters that needed arguments at the end, they will all be inside these parentheses, just like your normal programming language. The function body is wrapped in the curly brackets, and Cairo requires curly brackets around all function bodies. It's good style to place the opening curly bracket on the same line as the function declaration, that is like this, adding one space in between. The body of the main function holds the following code: print hello world. This line does all the work in this little program. It prints text to the screen. And there are four important details to notice here. First, Cairo style is to indent with four spaces, not a tab. So when it comes to indentation in Cairo, once you create a function, before you implement anything in the function, you have to give four spaces, four spaces, not tab. That is what they mean, not pressing tab on your keypad, your keyboard, but four spaces. So that is the proper styling for Cairo. Second, print new line calls a Cairo macro. If it had called a function instead, it would be entered as print line without the exclamation mark. So Cairo macros will be discussed in details more. Third, you see the hello world string. We pass the string as an argument to print line, and the string is printed to the screen. Fourth, we end the line with a semicolon, which indicates that this expression is over and the next one is ready to begin. Most lines of Cairo code end with a semicolon. So this is a quiz, and I want you guys on the call to answer it. So I'm sure we are following. So what is the name of the initial function that a Cairo program runs? So guys, if we're following, we should know what it is. The name of the initial function that Cairo runs. Is there anybody that wants to help us? Okay, main function. Thank you. Okay, so which command will run the code in your project? I don't think we've not gotten to that, so I won't ask you. Wow, so this is still installing, and I think we are out of time for today. So please, I think what we've been able to achieve today is to understand what Cairo programming language is, the overview, and to get our system set up, installed, and install all the packages we need for writing Cairo programs. So by next Friday, we should be set up and ready to start writing Cairo code. So do we have any question up to this point? If we do not, I'll be bringing this session to an end so we can do other things.
Thank you, Faith. I
Yay,
have a
yes.
request. Is it possible for us to have like I don't know if it's existing already, maybe a group chat so that during the course of the week, those of us yet to set up can actually um interact with ourselves and try to set up.
Oh, that's a, that's a wonderful idea. Okay, so did you add the meetings to your calendar?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I'll update the description and add the group links to it. So you should see that in your mails. Then you can join from there.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, guys, so thank you all for coming. And sorry, installation is taking so much time, but it is necessary, it is needed, and this is what you experience starting out. So it is cool we experience it together so you are not totally lost when you are doing it on your own. Have a nice weekend, everyone. Okay, cool. Have a nice weekend, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day today, and we'll see you guys next Friday. Bye for
Sorry.
now.
I sorry before you end the call. So I was telling Bello to like reach out in case he has questions.
Okay.
Um, yeah. So I want to drop my number on the call. So before you end the call, so that you can